Hey guys, I'm coming on here. I want to show you something. Here's the U.S. debt clock map. No, I need to make sure that... Here. Okay, so we see this, obviously, and it keeps going up. Look at that, 34. I mean, that's ridiculous. But let's scroll over here. Let's go watch The Secret Window. It's going to blow your mind. Takes you straight to X, which is Twitter. Ready to see this? Turn on to the new kingdom. What is this? That is Virgo, the woman, the moon, all the planetary alignments. Look at this, and there's Libra. So people's asking, oh, what about the financial collapse? Well, I'm going to get into that. This is so in your face. This is the total solar eclipse, guys. Okay, I do not feel good, so bear with me. My allergies are kicking me in the tail, and our winds here are ridiculous. Like, I have never been in such a strong windstorm like we have been in. I've been in tornadoes and stuff, which doesn't bother me, but this, yeah. Okay, guys, so today's March 19th, and it is spring. It is the first day of spring. So while I'm doing this map thing, I want to get also on here. Today is my brother's birthday. Darn it. I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm pretty slow. So I'm going to look up something real quick so I can present this to you. Ugh, my husband is playing that darn game. Caleb is my brother's name. And it is a faithful man of God. Okay. It also means the land that we have, passed through. Hold on. Okay, sorry. It means faithfulness. I was trying to read some stuff about it. So, anyways, I wanted to tell you, today's the first day of spring. Okay, we've had a lot of prophetic events that have happened up till now. Okay, so I stated in my video that they are talking about the banking systems going down about the 31st and the 1st. Okay. And the reason being is because they are taking away as of, okay, all right, how do I explain this? The cell phone services are going to be interrupted by this. I've talked about the solar eclipse to get to this point. Okay, so the cell phone services are going to be completely interrupted. You're only going to get an alarm one time on your phone. That's it, and it's total blackout. And they're talking about for 3 days to 2 weeks. Absolutely no form of communication. The communication systems are going to be down. Do you really think you're going to have access to your bank? No. Okay, and they have talked about the date of being another 9/11 attack. Now, I don't know that per se, okay? This is a prediction from a lot of other sources, like very well-known sources that I wanted to present. All right, so during this solar eclipse, Russia also knows about this eclipse. Okay, and Putin is now leading a 5th term, which means he is going to lead them straight into the Great Tribulation, the Gog and Magog War. He will be head of that. And so Russia knows, and it would be a perfect time for the attack of the United States. I mean, X marks the spot, for crying out loud. All right, and I had a dream, and you're not going to believe this. And I have it on my Crazy About Jesus Y'all channel from several years ago that I dreamt about the Pope stood up in the middle of the United States and Obama was there and there was nukes that hit the East Coast, West Coast, middle, and right there in the middle, there was a cross right in the middle of the United States and it fell down. All right, you guys can go to this website yourself. It's the Apple Tree Map that talks about the targeted areas that they are going to be rounding up people, things like that. So I am going to show you this. which these are 30 states in which are going to be completely funded for this. Ready? And tell me, what do you see in the middle of this map? A cross. Okay? That is insane. That just dropped my jaw. Same timing as the solar eclipse goes through. And the solar eclipse hits most of those states that are not highlighted. Indiana being one of them. All right. So now, I want to continue diving in. Okay, so these... All right, so this solar eclipse is exactly 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days between the dates of the two unusual American total solar eclipses of 2017 and 2024. It will also be exactly 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days after the first person received the statistically impossible numbers. That is all God. All right, and so what's going to happen... All right, so they are planning on in April. And several years ago, well, last year anyway, they was already talking about the Great Reset happening early on in 2024, March, April timing. And I've mentioned that in my videos. At first, I thought it would be in January for the digital dollar to switch over because there was talks about it, but it kept getting extended. Well, now... it's official that the ACP Affordable Connect program that helps low-income people with monthly, like $30 discounts for a utility bill is ending in April as well. All right, so Sleepy Joe is grabbing resources from everywhere to give to Ukraine, meaning he is cutting needed programs off. And this is the truth. And Americans are now last. All right, and this country is being given over to millions of people who don't even deserve it. Okay, and... imagine what it's going to be like when the rapture actually happens. I mean, you can't even, say anything because that's just true. And then Trump and Kenneth Copeland are together. That's not coincidence, is it? Both prosperity people. All right. And so there was also it's talking about the New York crash and burn, March 31st through the 4/1, which economy is going down. And today, before I tell you that, I want to actually share here. All right. So what also, that the Capital One commercial where the power, did anybody see this commercial first off? The Capital One commercial where the power is shut off during the NCAA tournament. Tournament runs March 21st to April 8th. Okay, there's an album cover with the lights out in Phoenix, and that is called the Public Enemy album. And what are you going to do when the grid goes down? So you need to check out the cover. April 8th, 2024 is the correction, which is the 99th day of the year. And this is saying blackout cyber attack, and this was live, and it got taken down right in the middle of it because the enemy did not want to be exposed. All right. So now you can watch the JW TV channel, and he has so much insider information. He's a lieutenant, and he is he gets inside information, through resources that are higher ups about what's going on in the world. And he's a Christian man, all right. And his videos are just out of this world, amazing. So, I highly recommend you go there and catch up on everything that I've been saying, because I didn't even know about this guy till 2 days ago. And everything that I've been talking about confirms all of this. Okay, so now we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about Project Bluebeam. Do you understand what Project Bluebeam is? Project Bluebeam has a hologram that is physically able to make people look like they are there. Okay, and in 1953 is when this tech started coming out. But in their movies that they were recording, they were unable to edit and cut pieces out. There is actual live footages of Anunnaki, okay, and of the Bigfoot. And what they're doing, they found the bones 25 feet high. Okay. And we know that in the time of Noah, this stuff actually happened. The Anunnaki, they roamed the world, the earth, the fallen angels, they made hybrids. They had babies with humans and things like that. Okay. So none of this is a fairy tale. This is fact. And what they did is while these bones was in the ground, they collected whatever DNA that they could to build super soldiers, which they are going to be using during the tribulation period. Okay. And I thought that was pretty amazing. And a person that you could get more information about this Project Bluebeam and how it works, who is an expert on it, is Stephen Greer. Okay. Very, very good. And he even talks about the false alien invasion rapture. Okay. And they are planning on dealing away, stating that aliens took us. Now, during the solar eclipse, they are going to take away our communication. The reason they are doing that is because of the public knowledge. They don't want it getting out. They don't want videos leaked. They don't want none of that going on. They don't want the freak out. That's why they have the National Guard around. That's why schools are closed, okay? And why these hospitals have been preparing for a bioengineered weapon, okay? For the bioengineered chemical, attack. They call it a terrorist attack. So they have been training for 3 weeks about this coming. So they know it's coming. All right. So now, during the total solar eclipse, it is 3 minutes and 22 seconds long. And the meaning of that 322 is skull and bones. All right. All right, and this information that I am giving came from the Homeland Security Department. All right, and so schools are closed also that day, and some people was told that there's going to be a total blackout for 3 days. And this is what employees, what the bosses are telling their employees, okay? And so communicating towers have to be completely updated by the 7th. Okay, that's 1 day before the solar eclipse because they know exactly what's happening. They know exactly what they're going to do because when everything goes back on, it's going to have a tracking device, which that is why the difference between those who have and those who have not are going to be segregated. They have a tally. Why do you think they had the cards out? Why do you think they forced it? And they said if they're not going to comply this time, that's why they don't trust the human race, why they have to depopulate, why all these things are going to happen, because we did not comply the first time. Because of this, they have all this plan in motion. This is the New World Order. This is the Great Reset that they have had planned that I have stated long time ago on my other channel about what's coming. Okay. And so, they are also able to lock people in houses, and they are going to even have a map of the homeless. Okay. And what they're going to do is, they have they're going to round them up. Okay. And they're just going to make it look like Project Bluebeam. All right. With the bioengineered weapon that they have. While everybody's looking at this and going out, we know disaster is going to strike. This is a false flag event. It's going to happen. And this is what they are going to explain away the rapture with. And this is fact. This is not fiction. You can find this on almost any website, government website and stuff. They're not hiding their agendas anymore. All right. And their plan, so their plan has unraveled now because people are putting 2 and 2 together. So the only way they're going to get people to comply is to sit there and put something dangerous and have it during an event where people are going to be caught completely off guard. People are not going to be looking for Jesus Christ. They're looking for an eclipse. I believe we leave before this because I know without a shadow of a doubt, this brings in wrath. This is the New World Order. This is Satan's time. And those balloons that everyone thought was from China, They were from NASA. Okay, and they were doing a dry run, and the balloons have recently been seen again everywhere. Okay, and they're spreading a bacteria, and the public is being alerted not to freak out if seeing the balloons during the next 2 eclipses, the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. The lunar eclipse on Passover, a blood moon. Government agencies are warning about possible animalistic behaviors in people right after, the day after the eclipse, especially those who are carriers. And those who are carriers are the ones that have, okay, and things are about to get super wild between the 24th and the 8th. And I believe that with all of my heart. Now, I did some digging for myself because I'm laying there and I have a headache and I just don't feel good and I'm falling asleep. And so I got the word upper room, and now I got the word it is finished, and now I got the word fig tree. And I'm like, the fig tree generation. Okay, the fig tree generation, a lot of people believe, started 1948 with Israel ending at 80 years, which now we are at the 76th or 77th, year of that generation. But in Luke, it talks about all the trees. It didn't just say just about the fig tree. It said about all the trees. That's why you got to pick apart, and really dive into the word and know what it's talking about. Okay, so I was like, all right, God, what about this fig tree generation? The trees are already starting to bud. It didn't say when there was fruit on them because Jesus cursed the fig tree. Okay, and that's the same analogy that he's doing now. He's going to curse that generation, and his wrath is getting ready to be poured out. There's not going to be any more mercy. Now, there's going to be mercy on the left behind, which is aka the tribulation saints. They have to be, because they get beheaded for their faith. All right. And if people want to sit there and, dispute any of this information that I give, I want you guys to go look up all of this information for yourself. All right. And then the deer zombie virus that I have talked about is able to be transmitted to humans. Okay. And this is also like my dream that I've had several dreams, where I was enclosed and all these people were acting zombified, trying to get in, and they wanted this. And what I did is I stuck my hand out the door and I went like that. I have it on my channel, my other channel. All my dreams are on my channel, or the Lost and the Weary page on my Facebook. You might have to dig, but they're there. I've had over 300 dreams, and the majority of them have come to pass. Some have not, as we're still here. Okay, so that's just what I'm wanting to say. If you guys don't start waking up and paying attention to the little details, what's going to happen is you're going to be caught off guard. You guys need to guard your hearts. Study to find yourselves approved. Don't take my word for it. Study for yourself. All right? And remember that Satan comes to kill and destroy anything that's good in people's lives. So what he's doing is trying to destroy the love in people's hearts. So this is where the apostasy comes in. The love of many's heart has grown cold. Christians the most. They want to argue their point. They don't know how to just scroll on by and keep their mouth shut. What they do is they cause discord. Anything that causes discord and quarreling on anybody's page is not of God. That is Satan being used greatly by that person, and they physically can't see it because they are blinded by the truth. All right. Love cannot die. It is eternal because of its Christ Jesus. That is love. Love is not an emotion. Love is God. Okay. And when you are so engulfed in this world, that's all you have is emotions of this world. You have things of this world. That's it. You don't have nothing else. You don't have anything to cling on to because all of it's going to pass away, including your love. If you are not saved and you have children, you don't love your children. It's impossible to love. Without love, you are nothing at all. You absolutely must have Christ Jesus in your life to show what love is. Love is eternal. Okay? And hate, it is something that can get killed. But love never dies. It's forever and it's eternal. So I will see you guys on the flip side. I'll see you there in the air. God bless.